Good morning, everyone. I just want to walk you through today's lesson. So this is Unit 3, our drama study, Lesson 2, which focuses on the American Dream. And we're going to introduce one of the major summatives for this unit, the literary essay. So a couple things we're doing today. So you give a little bit of information about expressing your opinion. I think that's important that we do this today early on, because a lot of the next few summatives that we have, the major summatives for this course, are really about expressing your opinion. And we've worked quite a bit on expressing your opinion in the form of answering a question, providing a quote, and then backing up what that quote says. The reason why we're doing that is because this prepares you to actually write an essay, because this is basically the essay writing process just repeated a few times. So I'm going to introduce the literary essay today. Don't worry, it's not due for a long time, 13 days away, 14 days, 2 weeks away. So you have lots of time to work on it. We will be walking through the process of writing the literary essay in the next few classes. Not going to talk too much today about writing the essay, but I just want to introduce the essay itself, give you the outline so you can start thinking about what it is that you're doing. And I'll put a separate video on for the actual essay itself. So today's lesson, we can first starts off by some information, your success criteria. So understand the purpose and format of literary essay, the importance of proving one's opinion in writing, discuss the concept of success and how striving for it can shape one's life in the form of a Padlet. And then we're going to do some more content questions for the first half of Act 2. So we give some information here about, expressing your opinion and why it's important. And that I feel very strongly about, it's not enough just to answer a question. You have to actually back up what you're saying and then state clearly why the proof you use actually backs up what it is that you're saying. And so really that's kind of the reason why we're doing this, is preparing you to write an essay. So please go through this, take some notes, and go through, trying to have an understanding how to prove an essay, how to prove out your opinion, why to do that, how to avoid bias, and some tips here to do that moving forward. One of the things we're going to talk about is the American dream today. And the American dream is probably, what you've heard, this idea that that anybody can get rich and be successful in America through, hard work and determination. And this has to do with our play, because of, this is what Willy Loman believes very much. So please take a look at this Google Doc explaining the concept of the American dream, and kind of talking a little bit about what it is and how Arthur Miller is basically kind of, has a little bit of contempt for this concept of the American dream and what it does to people. And certainly, Willy Loman's entire life is affected by his striving to become, to become well-liked and respected, rich and popular, things that he thinks are the key to the American dream, when in reality, they're actually not. So please go through. You can take a look at this document, take some notes on it, use your Google Read and Write, pull all the important things out of it if you'd like. And definitely try to understand, because it is important concept for us to understand as we move forward. So here's some characteristics of the American dream, what people were striving for, what people thought you would have if you achieve the American dream. And the key one here is the bottom, is sometimes the illusion of this is very much different than the reality. The dream is freedom, opportunity, success, and prosperity, like Willie had. And this would have been, in 1928, this was the potential. This is what he was striving for. But, versus the reality, the nightmare of, fear and hatred and lack of respect of other people. So take a look at that and just try to understand it. There's a video here that was done, really does a good job explaining the American dream in our play. So please go ahead and watch that. And as always, please take notes. There is a class discussion assignment here. So what I've done is I've given you a video here. So this video is on the American Dream by Pooja Mahajan. It's her concept of, when she first came to America, she had this idea of the American dream, just like Willie had an idea of what the American dream was. But she was self-aware enough to realize that what her view of the American dream was when she first came to this country was different than what it really is. So what I'd like you to do is come and take a look and just state how her views and the things that she says make some connections to our play. I've left it purposely pretty open for you, just in some way connect what she's saying to Willy Loman and what she said happens in our play. And please, as always, comment on at least one other person's post by clicking, just down here and putting a positive comment or a comment that in some way moves the discussion forward. So for your homework tonight, again, I've given you about 8 or 9 questions that focus on the first half of Act 2. So please go ahead and do that, and you're going to submit it here to the Dropbox. I know that some people are having problems submitting things to Dropbox. That's probably my fault. You can't have quotation marks in the saved title of anything you put in the Dropbox. So just make sure that when you do your Google document, you save it as something other than what it is. You go ahead and just don't put quotation marks around it. Just save it as, and this was happening with names of poems because they're supposed to go in quotation marks. And by habit, I put them in quotation marks, so I probably was messing you guys up. So go ahead, open the Google document, do the questions right on, and then submit it, please, to the Dropbox. And here we have your literary essay assignment, which I'm going to post another video for. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. Enjoy. Please make sure you're caught up. If you're not quite there, keep working to get there. Use this weekend, if you're not caught up, to make sure you're caught up by Monday. And also, your reading of In Mice and Men should be continuing as well. Don't just stop reading because we're done the play. We're starting of Mice and Men on the 21st of November. So you should be, working your way through as well and taking notes. And so make sure you're kind of interacting with the text as you read. Okay, so I'll post another video right here explaining the essay assignment.